Greetings, it's Ian from RTO. Welcome to Friday, which means it's a live album ranking. And today we're doing a sort of a bit of a little more tribute to Clem Burke. So obviously it is Blondie live. Formed by Debbie, Harry and Christine back in 1974. We all know about them. Sadly we lost Clem on April the 6th. So this is another little tribute. So they released 4 live albums, all very good. There is not a bad Blondie live album. So coming in at number 4 is the first live album. It's called Picture This. It was released in the United States as a limited edition full price album in 1997, but later was released in the United Kingdom in Europe, and it features work from the Walnut Street Theatre, Philadelphia, recorded on the 6th of November 1978, and the McFarlane Memorial Auditorium in Dallas, August the 5th, 1979. So it's very early stuff, and that album was released in 1999. So it's Debbie Harry on vocals, Christine on guitar, Clem Burke on drums, Jimmy Destry on the keyboards, Nigel Harrison on the guitar, and Frank Infante on the guitar as well. So the first track on this is Dreaming, of course, from the Eat the Beat album. It's a really good version. Then we go back to that debut album for In the Sun. Really good. Hanging on the Telephone, great track. From Parallel Lines. Look Good in Blue from Blondie. Slow Motion from Meet the Beat. Some classics here. Sunday Girl, of course, from Parallel Lines. Ex Offender from Blondie. Picture This from Parallel Lines. Denis from Plastic Leathers. Then they do Fade Away and Radiate from the same album. A Shark Injects Clothing from Blondie. And then they do I Don't Know. I Know But I Don't Know from Parallel Lines. One Way or Another is on here. That's great. Heart of Glass. It's not as good live as they got it as they did it later. 11:59 from Parallel Lines, and then they do a little medley of 2 covers. One's Get It On, of course, the T-Rocks, and Fun Time from Iggy Pop, co-wrote by Iggy Pop and David Bowie. I do like this live album. It's their early stuff. They haven't crafted their performance yet, but it's still great to listen to. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.7. Okay, coming in at number 3 is Live. And it was released in 1999. I'm not quite sure what this tour is, but it's Debbie again, Chris, Jimmy, Clem. Additional musicians on here. We've got Paul Carbonara, Lee Fox on bass, and Matt O'Connor percussion. Again, this one starts off with Dreaming from Eat the Beat. It's a really good version. Hanging on the Telephone's on here. Always like that. Now this is probably recorded in 1999ish, because it's Screaming Skin from No Exit is on here. Brilliant track. Atomic from Eat the Beat. The Tide Is High. It's an old sort of rocksteady song written by Johnny Holt, and they do a great version of it. It was performed originally by the Pen Paragons. Sunday Girl from Parallel Lines is on here, and then that brilliant Maria. I remember the first time I heard that, and I thought, they are back. Call Me's on here from American Gigolo. Then we have a Rapture from Auto American, brilliant track. Ripper to Sheds from and Ex Offender from the debut album, 2 great songs. And then we have the title track from No Exit, which is pretty good. Parallel, then we get a Parallel Lines for the last 2 tracks, Heart of Glass and One Way or Another. Now you can certainly tell the difference. You know, these are very good versions of these songs. It's another Great album. Clem's drumming on this is just fantastic. Just prove what a great drummer he was. So I'm going to give that one an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 2, Live by Request. Now this was released between 2004 in America and 2005 in the rest of the world, and it following the release of The Curse of Blondie, performed at A&E Network Live Requested programme in 2004, taking requests by email and phone from fans. So these are the songs that the fans chose, and it was the first release without their original keyboard player Jimmy Gestry, who had been replaced by Kevin Toppin. And it was the only album that Kevin Toppin is on. So we've got, it opens up of course with Dreaming, most of their tracks do. Hanging on the Telephone, of course it's not one of their songs, is it? It's by The Nerves, and they do a great version of it. Eat the Beat, we've got Accidents Never Happen, brilliant track written by Jimmy Gestry. Then we have The Tide Is High, always good to hear that. Good Boys from The Curse of Blondie, co-wrote by Brian May, really good. Rip Her to Shreds from Blondie's on here. Then we have of course One Way or Another, one of my favourite tracks by Blondie. Rapture, Ex-Offender, always great to hear that. Call Me, brilliant. And they do from Eat the Beat, Union City Boy, excuse me, Heart to Glass from Parallel Lines. The Dreams Lost in Me, which is an acoustic sound, they do an acoustic version of it with no exit. And then we've got Always Touched by My Presence Dear from Plastic Letters to end the track. Great live album. I like the idea that the fans chose these songs. Brilliant show. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.3. But my number 1 is, it's at the BBC, and it's recorded from the In concert that went out on New Year's Eve 1979 from Glasgow. Absolutely stunning performance this is. So you've got Debbie Harry on vocals, guitars is Chris and Frank, Clem of course on the drums, and Jimmy on the keyboards. So you get introduced, I think it's Bob Harris, and they do from Plastic Letters, brilliant. The Hardest Part for Me to Beat, Die Young, Stay Pretty for Me to Beat. These are some of the classics. Accidents Never Happen for Me to Beat. Victor for Meet the Beat. Living in the Real World, Eat for Beat. So you got plenty of stuff off which would have been their album. Then they do 7 Rooms of Gloom, which is a 4 tops number, and they absolutely do it brilliantly. Then back to Eat to the Beat for Eat to the Beat. Ex-Offender from Blondie's on here, and then back to the Eat the Beat for Dreaming. Slow Motion from the same album, and Shayla. So they basically have done all the Beat the Beat. Union City Blue, brilliant live. Atomic, Picture This from Parallel Lines, and then the rest of some of these are off. Pretty Baby from the same album. Heart of Glass, Hanging on the Telephone, Sunday Girl. Then I Feel Good, the James Brown classic, One Way or Another. Everyone remembers this. You know, it basically played Eat the Beat in Parallel Lines with a couple of covers. It's a stunning performance. It's a legendary concert now. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.5. So there we go, a bit of Blondie to start the day. Okay, coming up next is a new album review, and this is the brand new album from Pulp, and it is called More. So bye for now.